talking about it.
We're singing. Come on.
Okay, now on to Cancer. Now, with this section, we're going to talk a little bit about the lunar eclipses. Eclipses, the lunar and the solar eclipses, tend to happen in pairs a couple times each year, sometimes 3 times, twice this year though. But the overall flavor of Cancer this year is understanding other people's resources and perhaps thinking about ways of making money work better for you by going through those bills and getting rid of the things that you really need to be paid off, or checking through, making sure that money isn't leaking out somewhere. I also think that career-wise, there's going to be some changes for Cancerians because they are thinking about money, how I can get more, how I can make it work better for me. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a real resistance for Cancerians to be committed. They don't want to sign contracts. They don't want to be tied down to any one thing. They want to be free.
Right. I see this in the context of the larger pattern with Cancer for the last couple of years, being that the distance from home and distance from family that has been building up for some time has really affected their, at this one time they want to be rooted and have connection with the home.
They want to be safe.
Want to be safe, but at the same time, as you mentioned, they want to be prominent, and they're coming to prominence this year in their public life, in their career as well, taking on more responsibility. It'd be good if they found a group of people in their work environment that they considered as
their tribe,
and they could not treat as family, but be the go-to person to keep that unit together, and that would help to settle a little bit this tug of war between the home and work and family that's been happening for the last couple of years. I do see that their fortune increases as long as they understand that they need to communicate in a very forthright manner, but with tact. And that's something that, especially in August, they're going to have to really work on. Or vaguely defined deliverables at work that can cause more nervous tension in their body. And so maybe taking on some yoga or meditation practices to help them to settle just the body with all of the change that has to be accommodated, because it's all kind of propelled from middle of January with the change in relationships that's happening, and new people coming in and old people going out, and that can probably trigger all these responses they've had to home and things going forward.
Cancerians have really lost the cuddly teddy bear kind of persona.
As Pluto's opposing Cancer,
yes, this year, they're really being quite don't stand so close to me kind of attitude. Now the eclipses, there's a penumbral eclipse on the 11th of February, which falls in the business sector of their chart, which basically means there might be old business relationships breaking up or new ones forming, and that's kind of echoed with the partial lunar eclipse on the 7th of August, which falls in the opposite house, which just sort of means that any of those unresolved issues from the first time around are going to be brought to the fore and something must be done. Right. So if you don't handle it well in February, it's just going to come back and bite you in August.
Ahead for Cancer, the emotional sign. Yeah, those crabs that want to hold on but kind of scuttle to the side.
Yes, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And for the beginning of 2017, the moon lands in your 7th house, house of relationships. This is quite fortunate because when the moon is in the 7th house, it's quite fortunate for the Cancerians. So this will favor you in many ways. So there's going to be strong focus here in regards of relationship matters. Also, Rahu and Ketu are going to be in your 2nd and 8th house. But at some point during the year, they're going to switch and they're going to go into your 1st and 7th house. And again, this is the me versus others, or me and a person I'm in a relationship with access. So this dynamic is also going to change as well. This adds to that moon again in your 7th house, and Ketu is going to move into that 7th house also as well. So perhaps there's going to be a need for you to perhaps let go of particular ideas or images or illusions of a particular relationship and focus more on yourself, doing better for yourself. With Rahu on your Lagna in your 1st house, there may be needing to for self-knowledge. because Rahu is all about the knowledge. He wants to get gain. So learning about yourself so that you can grow, you can develop yourself, you can make yourself empower yourself in many ways, and perhaps letting go of the idea of relying on other people and the ideas and the illusions of relationships, and you perhaps need to definitely let that go. Jupiter is going to be in your third house. Again, this is a very learned house. It's the house of thinking. It's the house of mind.
House of Guru and his speech. Guru and his...
Yes, okay, yeah. And the thing there, again, it's about expansion. So expansion of the mind, expansion of thinking, many ideas, perhaps doing lots of study, reading lots of different books, perhaps as well. The third house is also connected with siblings. So they can be a focus also around siblings, brothers and sisters that really come into focus. Maybe you have brothers and sisters who are abroad, who travel abroad, who come and see you. So they, it can manifest in that way. But at some point in the year, Jupiter will move into Libra and will move into your fourth house. So fourth house matters during the course of the year are also going to come into very, very strong focus. The fourth house is about the home, it's about the happiness. Jupiter in the fourth house is quite positive. And let's not forget that Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So for you Cancerians, this is also a very positive move also as well. So you're really kind of going to come into your zone with Jupiter moving into your fourth house. Saturn is going to be in your fifth house. This is the house of creativity, progeny, and again, at some point in the year, Saturn will move from your fifth house and move into your sixth house, which again is the house of illness, the house of, so there's going to be a lot more structure in and around perhaps your diet and your health. And what you do on a day-to-day basis too. So these are things, again, that you will have to definitely be focusing on for the Cancerians. But it's really a very good year for the Cancerians, and you really